Time equals 1. So follow, I guess we could say, if I enter versus not enter, how much am I going to get? All of this is going to be the equilibrium is following here. What do I get for entering? I have to pay the cost, right, which is?
16.
And then what am I going to get? The other player, once I enter, what's save mark going to play?
Low.
Low, and that means, but I'm going to play moderate, and so I get 4. And then, what should I do after that? I should leave after that. So, that's going to be the next period, right? So that's going to be the next period, and then what do I get? The 8. Okay. Okay. If I don't enter, what do I get? 0. I guess I shouldn't do it this way. I should do it this way, right? Because I want to not enter. Thank you. I want to not enter. And so when is this true? We can figure this out. It's actually not going to be right. It's going to be negative 12 plus delta over 8. Throw that on the other side. Ooh, delta is going to be greater than 3/2. Is that right? So that's going to hold. Is that right? I got that wrong. Did I get it wrong?
You don't have to divide by any negatives. So you put 12 on the other side, right? You got 12, so it'll still go 7 equals 4, and then
Okay,
you
sorry.
divide by 8.
So it's this way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, thanks. So that's going to hold, right? So causes number 1 enter. Okay. Now, so that holds that there. What else do we need to check? We need to check, besides that, we need to check all the punishment paths, is that right? Okay, so suppose that for some reason, costless has entered, right? We're looking down a punishment path, not a punishment, off the path equilibrium. So suppose they had entered, suppose costless had entered. So now we want to suppose already entered. Should they exit? Suppose entered. We want to know whether exit, in this case we should say is exit greater, because I got that backward, exit is greater than stay. That's what must be true for that we need equilibrium, that is you never would have gotten it in the first place. So if I exit, what do I get?
8.
I get the 8. What do I get if I stay? I get 4. And then what do I get after that? What am I going to do after that? I'm actually going to exit, right? Because I should have exited earlier. Isn't that right? And so what's going to be true in this one? Delta must be greater than, no, less than 1/2. Okay. All right. So notice that's actually, you have to be pretty impatient. Costless has to be pretty impatient in order to hold it together. Okay. All right. What else do we have to check? we could check some other paths we could check, as you could say, suppose they didn't choose, suppose SaveMart made a mistake and didn't choose low, chose medium instead, what would you get? You can figure that out as well. But let's figure out, so the other one, SaveMart. What's their, this is to me kind of a tricky part. What, so the idea is that they're supposed to play low. It seems like it's a not credible threat in a way, right, to me, when I look at this. Because here's the dominant strategy playing medium. So, but we're following the equilibrium. What do they have to do? They've always, so if I price low today, is that going to be better than playing my dominant strategy? That's what I would ask. Suppose, so the idea is the, sorry, who? Costless is entered. So Costless has entered the market, okay? That is, I want to make sure that this is, I want to make sure this is a credible punishment. Costless has entered. What am I supposed to play? I'm supposed to play low. Well, why wouldn't I play low? Well, if I play low, what do I get? I get the 5, right? Do I get the 5? No, here, right? I'm playing low. They're playing moderate, because that's part of their strategy. So I get the 5 right now. This is on the sort of on the equilibrium path of sorts. Assuming they follow the strategy, except that Costless has made a mistake and entered. So I get 5, and then what do I get after that? What did you mention before? What does SaveMart get? What's going to happen after that? I price low, and then what does Costless do now? They leave, so that means I now get 20 all the time. Okay. If instead, right, they're playing moderate, right? And so the choice is I could go and get that 7, right? I can get the 7. I don't get the 20 this time. What am I going to get after that? I'm going to keep getting 7, right? And so we have to figure out when that holds. That's a pain, but we can do it, right? Figure 5 minus 5 delta plus 20 delta is greater than or equal to 7 minus 7 delta plus 7 delta. Delta 7, right? Those cancel out. Okay. So now we're left with 15 delta greater than. The delta must be greater than 2. So really, SaveMart has no problem holding this up, right? That is, they don't have to be replicated at all. Because they like getting that 20 forever, rather than the the temptation of 7 is not that tempting, right? Compared to the 20. Okay. So when we put those together, if these apply, if these deltas all apply to the same people, so they apply to both sides, then what ends up happening is the other punishments, the other paths that we go down have constraints or are less fine than that. So I'm not going to check them all so we can look at them over. But what ends up happening is that in order to sustain this equilibrium, if the deltas are the same for both people, both companies, delta has to be above a certain amount, otherwise SaveMart would say, you know, I'll just as long as my low will kick you out, then I will do that. That's the super. But if Costless values the future too much, then Costless will say, you know, I'm just going to stick with it. I know I'm losing this, I'm losing some right now, but I'm just going to start, you're going to give up. And so if they value the future too much, they're not just going to leave. They leave because they just do not want to have to pay the 16 and then only get 4 back in return. They don't want to get that.
So it has to be less than half. The only way we can sustain this equilibrium or costless, save mark keeps costless out of the market is that costless doesn't value the future very much. That's the way we hold that equilibrium together. So if costless cares about the future a lot more, then we cannot keep